I remember when I was raising my two daughters, there were times when things weren't always as abundant as they should be in my life, but I was a good truth student, and I had learned the law, and I had learned the ideas, and there was always a favorite affirmation of mine that if you believe that God is the source of your supply, act like it. If you believe that God is the source of your supply, act like it. And I use that idea very, very often. Well, this one Christmas, things were a little bit tight, and I knew that the girls were going to have new dolls for Christmas because I had already put them away. But I really thought that it would be really very nice if I could have something for them to put the dolls in. And they both would have liked to have had buggies for their dolls. So I was really thinking about this, and I began to walk around and say, now look, Martha, you're doing your best in life. You are doing all of the things that you should be doing. Now your father is a father who has an abundance. My father is rich in houses and lands. He holdeth the wealth of the world in his hands. And I began to think about that. And I began to affirm the idea that the good that I desired and the good that I desired for my daughters was forthcoming, that it was forthcoming now. There was no way in the outer that I could see this coming about. But I began to affirm, I began to speak the word, and then I let it go. And one day while I was at my office, I walked in and there was an envelope on my desk. And when I opened the envelope, and I don't know who it came from, but there was the exact amount of money that I needed to purchase the two buggies for the girls. I had spoken the word, I had asked in the consciousness, knowing that Spirit will provide through channels which I may know or which I may not know, that the abundance would come when I needed it and as I needed it. Again, when I was in ministerial school, I found myself in that same position. And I began to speak the word, and I said, now look, Father, and I often talk to God, the Spirit of God within me like that. I say, now look, I'm really doing what I'm supposed to do, and yet things seem to be getting a little tight right now, and I have a need for an increase in my supply. And I know that you're the source of my good, and I've been acting like it. Now, let's see it come through. And I no sooner had said that, and I no sooner had established that asking consciousness, than all of a sudden I received in the mail 2 letters. One letter was an immediate answer with a check, and the other was also a check but said, you know, I've been thinking about this, and I've decided to increase my tithe to the church. But then I began to think about the idea that the tithe can go to God's work or workers. And I knew that you were working in God's work, so I've decided to send you the increase in my tithe. And I'll send it to you every month while you're in school. So every month while I was in school, this increase came.